Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy C Will back to you with another video. Super excited today. Why? Because I know you see the title, you see the computer right here in the background. Hey, we got a new build, new case, new GPU. We got the Lian O11 Dynamic, and we got the RTX 3080 MSI Gaming X Trio. Super excited today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Here we do everything tech, all things tech. Whatever it is, we like to do it. And if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you the most because you keep everything going. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, guys, we got the H510 Elite. Of course, you know this was probably one of my favorite cases, but we have a better case. We are definitely going to be going into the Lian O11 Dynamic. Definitely one of the most popular cases that are around. I'll pull it up, but we have to break down this puppy first. And so let's go ahead and get that started. All right, y'all, so we got the case broken down, took everything out, and now we're about to open up for the first time the Lian O11 Dynamic. This might be my permanent case, y'all. I've been actually wanting to get one of these for the longest, but you know, I just never pulled the trigger. Again, you know, this is a really popular case. See at the bottom, this is a filter, it's magnetic. You could screw in fans at the bottom, which we are going to do. And so it looks like the best way to do that is to put the fans in and then screw them from the bottom. So we're going to take out, they got hard drive trays in here right now, but we're going to take those out because we're going to put fans all across the bottom. We got temper glass side, temper glass on the front. Whew. You got the power button, USB audio, mic, USB-C. That's on the front. But the thing I like about this is that you could be able to see all the insides of the case from the front and also from the side. This is a dual chamber case. I think we gotta take the top off first. But if I release the top, release the Kraken. But if I release these, yep, it slides off. Has a perforated top. So when, you know, for the AIO, hot air is gonna come out the top. Also on the top, it also has another magnetic air filter. And then this at the top, it supports 360 millimeter AIO if you choose to do an AIO or RAD. Or you could put, you know, fans across the top as well. So you can do either or, but you know, definitely we're gonna put the 280 millimeter AIO that I have across the top here. Across the top it supports, you can either do two 140 millimeter fans, or you could do three, I think it's either 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, 120 millimeter fans. So if I have to correct myself, I will. But this is a dual chamber case because I am going to lift this back up. And dual chamber means is that on the inside, you have your motherboard, GPU, and all that good stuff. But on the other side, and I just realized this lifts up. There we go. And so if I flip this up, so perforated sides, and they both have also magnetic filters as well. The great thing about this is that you have a cable management bar to hide your cables and stuff like that. But this is a separate chamber from the front. You know, this will actually allow you to put in 2 power supplies if you needed to, or you can use this as a hard drive cage. And then this area right here also allows for more fans. And so I'm going to put 320 millimeter fans here. for intake as well. So we're going to intake from the bottom. We're also going to intake from the side, and all of the hot air is going to come out the top. That's what I love about this case, because it could take up to 9 fans, so 920 millimeter fans. So 3 on the side, 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top. And yeah, let's get to it. So it's a screw down here at the bottom. All right, so we got the front panel cables right here. That should be the USB 3.0 cable for the front panel. This is the HD audio cable. And here are your power, hard drive, light, you know, LEDs and stuff like that for the front panel. And this right here is the USB-C cable. So those are pretty much routed. This box right here should have all the screws and everything in it. Now, what's also interesting here is that on the back of this cable management bar, you can actually screw in hard drives. So that's pretty dope as well. Okay, all right, so what we're gonna do now, we're actually going to take these hard drive cage out. We're gonna take the filter off, and we're actually gonna put that back. But we are going to go ahead and install our fans first before we install the motherboard. So we got the Touch Aqua no toes 0120 PWM fans. They get up to 1800 RPM, 28 decibels. These are 120 by 25 millimeter RGB fans. 5 came in this box, and I got an extra one. And I actually meant to get another one of these, but it's cool. So we're gonna have 3 at the bottom, 3 on the side, and this is gonna be our RGB fans until we get something different. So I'm gonna see how these work, and then if I need to change these at a later date, I will, but we're gonna go ahead and pop these in first. So in this box, we have one for the actual fan control, then we have another for the RGB. These have 3M tape that's on the back, so we'll definitely put these in a good place on the back of the motherboard. But these are pretty cool. This box with the RGB with the fans was like 70, it's like 65 bucks. So here's what they look like. And there's RGB on both the front and back, so that's why I love it. It has the double rings. So this front part is actually the part that pulls in the air. So inside the case is going to face down. So when we look inside the case, you'll see this side, but it'll still have RGB. All right, so as you can see, that's how it's gonna look. Got the fans down here at the bottom. They're gonna pull air from the bottom. It's gonna cool off the GPU, pull cold air in. And then we are going to put the next set of fans here for intake. So air is going to come in. So air is going to come in from the bottom, from the side, and then it's all the hot air is going to come out the top. The one thing I love about this case that I'm seeing right now is that it's real easy to build in. It's so much room and space that's available. I absolutely love it. In other cases, it was so hard to get the power supply cables and all that stuff in, but this is going to be super easy. So, what a dream. Super easy to build in. All right, so we got the NZXT symbol here. Fans, right? It's going to be like this. So the cables are going to come like this. And so when we get ready to mount it, it's going to look just like that. All right, so when you install the power supply, you gotta make sure that the fan is facing out. I think what I'm gonna do is actually end up mounting RGB controller and the fan controller. I'm gonna mount these to the back of here. Looks like that might be the best place. All right, guys, so I got everything mounted on the actual cable management plate. And so here's hoping to everything going well. I got everything connected. And so, yeah, I got everything mounted to the back plate. Got all of the power supply and everything ran. So I am going to go ahead and put this back on. Looking pretty good back there. Fans at the bottom for intake, fans on the side for intake. And then we got the 280 millimeter that's going to pull hot air out the top. And we got the 3 PCIe cables, so we just got to put in a graphics card. So let's go ahead and do that. And so for those that do not know, this is the star of the show, the RTX 3080 MSI Gaming X Trio beast of a card. And this is even though it only takes up 2 PCIe brackets, this is a 3-slot card. So, all right, so we're just gonna go ahead and snap this in. All right, so we're gonna plug in the power. We got a complete build. I'm super excited, ready to get this thing turned on so we can see what those fans look like. Tell me what you think down in the comments below of how this thing looks, because it looks great to me. All right, so we are going to cut this thing on for the first time, and let me see what we're going to get. Boy, you better kill it. Man, them fans look good. We got boots. Got to be more careful. Yes, sir. Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just wanted to show you some off-screen recording real quick. A couple of things I just wanted to go over is I've been having just Unigen. I think it's called Superposition, but it's Unigen heaven. And basically, as you can see right here, we got the 3080 inside the system that we just built. And as you can see, if you saw my last video, I told you that changing the case was going to change a couple of things with the temps. So it's been maxing out. It's peaking at 75, but it's been pretty much staying steady at 74 degrees, between 73 and 74. Right now I have my fans, the RGB fans. They are set at performance mode. So it's at 1200 RPM. Something like that right now. And if I can get my mouse, so you see it's on performance mode being done by the system information viewer for the control of the RGB fans. So it's on performance, it's at 1200 RPM right now. As you can see with MSI Afterburner, I did not change anything here. These are all stock settings. There's no fan curve. So if I go here, if I click on fan, no fan curve. Everything is just being run off of the VBIOS off the card. And right now, well, that's right there. That's the RGB controller on motherboard. We'll get back to that. But as you can see right here, my CPU temp is 57, 58. That's the GPU. And what's hiding behind here is Tech Power Up GPU Z. And one thing I want you to see is that with the VBIOS, it pretty much gets the fan speeds up inside this case just to 49%, which is around close to 1500 RPM. But definitely you see the power draw that's happening on the car right here, the board power. But yeah, so just with the stock settings inside this case, we are definitely looking good. So in my last video, when I was using the H510 Elite, I was getting 77, 78 degrees. And if I wanted to, I could actually go here, and if I want to get, I can actually change the fan speed. If I just change it, because right now it's at 49, but if I just change my fan speed, if I take it off auto, if I just put it at 60%, right? Check that. Watch. So at 60%, you'll see the fan speed get up to 1900 RPM. And watch how the, oh, one thing I forgot to tell you, the fan, because I have the cooler at the top, that's the only thing that I have is exhaust. So I have that set on performance. The pump is on performance. But you see how the temperature goes down on the GPU just by changing the fan speed. I can have it set right at just 60%. So it's right at 1900 RPM. And that drops it down. And you can barely hear the fans. So just that one small change from 50% to 60%, you could drop the temps down in the case. But we definitely have the fans at the bottom intake, fans on the side intake, and once I get a 360 AIO at the top, I have 3 fans instead of 2 right now that'll be exhaust. So one thing I forgot to mention real quick, so as you can see, this is the X570 Aorus Master. It's the RGB Fusion software. So right now, as you can see, I have the motherboard and I have the LED set on white. So one of the things that I did, one of the changes that I made was I definitely connected, there's a cable to the RGB hub that comes in the box with the fans. I have that connected to the top RGB header on my motherboard, and I'm also using a SATA cable for the power. So power plus using that cable on the RGB hub allows me to use the motherboard to change the actual RGB on the fans. There's also buttons on the hub that I can press manually, but that would mean that I will have to take the back panel off anytime I want to change the color. So I made sure I connected that cable to the RGB on the motherboard to one of the headers, and now I could go here, and if I wanted to, I can make changes. So if I click here, and if I just want to have it color cycle, and also click here, well, yep, and I can change this to color cycle. There, color cycle. Here, color cycle, and I click apply. Now it changes everything on the motherboard. So now it's going through the color cycles. And I have different options. If I wanted to, I could change this to a digital wave. And then boom, we got the RGB wave of the colors. And for the memory, here I'm using Gskill because I have Gskill RAM. They have a RGB controller. I could do it on here as well, which if I did it here, I could do a color cycle, and I could do it here or here, but then now the RAM changes. The Red Dragon software is just for MSI cards, but this will allow me to change the RGB on a card. Mystic Light. So if I go to Mystic Light, but I could change this to streaming, or I could just hit default. If I change it to default instead of the white, now it changes to the RGB colors as well. So yeah, I can control everything through software here. I absolutely love it. And man, let me know what you think down in the comments. I absolutely love this case, love this build. And let me know what you want to see next. So hey, appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.